For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone with head men's basketball coach Joe Golding. After a successful road trip in which the Wildcats beat Houston Baptist and Northwestern State, the Wildcats are back home for a game against the preseason favorite, Stephen F. Austin. Coach, let's talk about Stephen F. Austin in just a second. First, anybody going on the road and winning twice in a week has done something really important and a bit unusual, haven't they?
It's tough, and especially in this league. And, you're looking at our history and how we've played on the road, up to this year. I thought last year we broke through a little bit, won some games in a row, but didn't really have any consistency. This year we're finding some different ways to be consistent on the road and play, and when you're on the road to win, you got to take care of the basketball. You can't turn it over. You got to be able to rebound the basketball, and then you got to be able to make some shots, in somebody else's gym, and be able to sit down and guard. And so I think our defense was really good this past week. I thought we obviously took care of the ball really well this week. Rebounding is still a work in progress and something we're continuing to try to work on and practice and get better at. But overall very happy to get to, anytime you want to compete for a chance to get to Katy, you got to protect home floor, and then you got to be able to go on the road and win some games. And last week we were able to do that.
And you've done both. You've protected home floor by and large, and you've won on the road. Mitigating circumstances, Houston Baptist number one in the nation in offensive rebounds, and Northwestern State, you held them to less than 40% shooting. They're going to get some more chances when they're not making shots.
Yeah, I thought we battled and competed a little bit better this past week on the glass. A little bit of that number's misleading. You and I have talked a lot. I think we're one of the better teams in the league in defensive transition. We send three guys, back, two for sure, sometimes three guys back, depending on what personnel we have to negate that. We really want teams to score against our half-court offense and not give teams free points. And so when you don't send as many guys to the glass, I think sometimes that number can get a little bit misleading. But, I thought we fought a little bit better, but we still gave up way too many.
Well, when you have 6'7" and 6'9" guys shooting threes, you don't have those big men under the basket for offensive rebounds as well. There's another reason. So you're now 4-2 in conference. You're a game out of first place. I'm looking at the standings. I know a lot of our fans are. Are you taking a peek to kind of see where you are, or is that not even what you're worried about right this minute?
I haven't. I haven't even looked at it.
You are.
Yeah. I'm sure our guys are. It's 2000. What year are we?
Yeah,
18, 17, 18. I mean, it's the year technology has surpassed us. But I think, I'm sure our guys know. We'll start talking about that, I think, as it means something. Right now, we're just treating each game at a time, trying to compete, prepare for our opponent, go out and play the best of our ability, and try to win a basketball game, and then move on to the next one.
I thought last year the fact that you beat the perennial powers, no offense to the others in the Southland Conference, there's some great teams in this league, but you beat Stephen F. Austin and you beat Sam twice, so you go 3-0 against the two real bullies of the Southland Conference in the last decade. What did the Stephen F. win mean, maybe symbolically, for you last year, if anything?
We've taken some butt whoopings from Stephen F. Austin, in the first 4 years of this. There's no question. We got whooped up pretty good, and you could tell there was definitely a big difference in margin of victory for them and us, and it just seemed like at some point in time, 2 or 3 years ago, man, can we ever get there, And I just think, last year when we were able to beat SFA, I think it was for a quick second, take a deep breath and say, man, all the hard work, all the players before us, all the assistant coaches before us, all the people that had a part of this when this seemed like an impossible task heading into transition to Division I to reach that level. I thought it was okay, man. Now we can do it, and so I think probably for our players it was the same way. Our players are no different than me. They had gotten their butt kicked by SFA and Sam and Corpus and a bunch of these teams for a long time, and so I think it was okay. Now we can play in this league. We can compete in this league, and we can play with the top tier in this league. We're nowhere close at that point in time to showing consistency to compete with those teams, but we knew we could get it done, and I think moving forward that gave us some momentum in this offseason and the way our guys worked and the way our guys believe this year that they can compete with anybody in our league.
Well, now they come to Moody Coliseum. where you beat them last year, and they are loaded again, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really, really good. It starts again at the top. Sounds like a broken record, but they're very well coached. Coach Keller does an extremely great job with their guys. They're talented. They got really, really good players. They're well coached. They take care of the basketball. They rebound the basketball well. And they take high percentage shots, and then they really, really defend. You know, I think they're number one in the country in turnovers forced. So when you put all those things together, they're 15-3 with wins over SEC teams this year. And so I think the thing that SFA has been so good for so long in our league is, number one, they win at home, Grant. They don't lose at home. You know, they have the best home court advantage in our league. There's no question that they pack that place, that they have a great crowd, and they don't lose at home. And then they carry that over, and they are able to go win on the road because they have confidence moving forward, and they string wins together at home, and then they go, because they're so well coached and they got great players and play the right way, they win on the road. That's what we're trying to do here. You know, we are trying to get a home court advantage here in Abilene, Texas. We're trying to make this a tough place to play. It's a tough place to travel already. It needs to become a tough place to play. We're getting more people in the stands this year, but the noise level really isn't going up until the last 2 or 3 minutes. We need this thing to be loud for 40 minutes. You know, we need people to come in out of the cold, bring their kids that are sitting at home and wrestle and can't go outside and play, and let them just go crazy, you know, for 2 hours and make this place a tough place to play. And I think when we do that and we make this place tough and we start winning games at home and then being able to win on the road, then we can start saying, okay, now our program is getting on a level with Stephen F. Austin. It's not right now because of the home court advantage that they have in the games that they're able to win at home. I mean, they don't lose at home.
Well, ACU has a chance to keep building that home court advantage. An enormous game against the preseason favorite, Stephen F. Austin. 7 o'clock tip-off from Moody Coliseum on Wednesday night.